Heather Gray, the Lyme boss here. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and bioenergetic practitioner. And maybe you feel like crap. And that's why you need to listen to these high-level experts that I have on my show every week, whether it's Lyme disease, mold toxicity, autoimmune, mental health issues, weight, cancer, you fill in the blank. I guarantee you will find something inspiring, entertaining, something that'll give you hope, practical advice that you can take home at the end of every episode. I highly thank you for joining us. Hey there. Super, super excited to be covering today's topic, mind invaders, and uncovering the link between Alzheimer's and Lyme disease. It's one of my favorite topics. I know I say that often a lot, but I really like talking about mental health stuff and brain stuff because I feel like there's not a whole lot of people talking about those things. And I feel like the conventional model has had it wrong for so long. So most of you folks might know, my story, 27 years, undiagnosed Lyme disease, 2 suicide attempts when I was younger, mold toxicity, celiac disease, endometriosis, Hashimoto's, right? 100 pounds overweight. I've reversed 2 out of 3 of those autoimmune diseases, put Lyme in remission, detox mold. And for the most part, I have my brain back, right? It functions very well. And the reason why I like talking about this stuff is because we have made it too common these days where after the age of 60, people are getting dementia and Alzheimer's at an alarming rate. And people are just it's like that frog in the pot analogy, right? We've got a frog sitting in some warm water and we slowly turn up the heat, slowly turn up the heat, slowly turn up the heat till he's dead, till he's been boiled alive, right? It's the same thing kind of going on in our healthcare system. We have thought that these things are quote unquote normal, and they're really not. Just because they're common doesn't mean that they're normal. Every symptom, all these things are check engine lights coming on in our body saying, hey, dummy, there's something going on in here. Figure it out or else. And sadly, a lot of us, we grab for that over the counter, right? Or a prescription, or we cut it out instead of diving a little deeper and trying to find out what's going on. There's been so many correlations between aluminum, other heavy metals, mercury accumulating in the brain and contributing to Alzheimer's and dementia. Same thing with mold toxins and Lyme disease. There was a study that I remember not too long ago that came out that said that like 80% of Alzheimer's brains, they found Lyme inside. Lyme is one of those few things that can cross the blood-brain barrier and totally wreak havoc. I had to give up drinking not too long ago because when you've got early childhood trauma, when you have trauma, it's called a priming event. And it's where your your immune system in your brain has been activated. And just like when your immune system anywhere else in your brain or in your body's been activated, a lot of times there can be casualties of war, right? Just because it's whatever's around the blast area is also going to receive casualties. It's going to receive damage. So it's no different with your brain. And so once you have a priming event like a concussion or heavy metals or mold or Lyme, early childhood trauma, other types of trauma, it leaves you more susceptible to having other priming events going forward. And alcohol is a huge trigger for a priming event. It's toxin to the body. I don't care how you want to spin it. Alcohol is toxic to the body. Period. End of story. And it was always so apparent to me when I would literally have 1 or 2 drinks a night and I would be paying for it for a week, sometimes with suicidal thoughts. Like the next day I would be crying and I would be talking about wanting to take myself out. And my husband's like, and no more alcohol for you, right? Rightfully so. I do all this money, I spend all this time taking care of myself on a regular basis to just throw it away for 1 drink. And I don't even catch a good buzz anymore. So like, why bother? I just love my brain and my body too much. And that's the other reason why I love this topic is because people are just thinking that it's normal. And I want to hold on to my brain for as long as possible. And one of the long-term side effects that I found out about Lyme disease was Alzheimer's, early on. And so my brain health has always been forefront of everything that I do for my health. You might have also heard the expression leaky gut, leaky brain. And so if we're eating foods like wheat, like corn, like grains, stuff that are high in mold. We're taking a lot of antibiotics, birth control pills, of other over-the-counter stuff, mold, other toxins can lead to a leaky gut. Our gut and our brain are so connected, and there's a blood-brain barrier, just like we have a barrier in our gut. And when we have these things that can invade and cause damage to that barrier, then we have stuff getting inside of our gut, inside of our brain, outside of our gut, inside of our brain, that doesn't belong there, right? And then our immune system is triggered, and it says, "Hey, you don't belong here," and it starts a war. And like I said, there's, collateral damage with the tissue surrounding whatever it is that they're attacking. So there's so many little pieces to this puzzle. We'll dive deeper into it when we come back. We need to pause real quick for a commercial. Don't go anywhere.
When you're facing painful symptoms, a diagnosis of chronic Lyme, or an autoimmune disease, it can be overwhelming to navigate. You already know mainstream medicine doesn't have the tools to support you, and often even alternative medicine can become a maze of options without sustained results. Modern living puts significant stress on our systems. To counter this, we need a holistic approach, utilizing the latest technology and guided by physicians with decades of clinical experience. This is biological medicine. The Biomed Center in Scottsdale, Arizona is one of the most comprehensive clinics in the world, incorporating the latest diagnostics available, such as full-body MRIs, computer regulation thermography, heart rate variability, toxin screenings, and along with hormone and gut testing, they achieve the broadest look at all systems of the body. Customized protocols are developed by physicians who have treated thousands of patients in chronic disease by optimizing their biological performance. Save yourself years of suffering and searching with a visit to the Biomed Center, Scottsdale. The future of medicine is here.
Hey there. Cellcore is one of the best supplement companies around when it comes to dealing with parasites, heavy metals, toxins, candida, Lyme disease, and co-infections. It is my go-to when it comes to anything detoxing or helping support the body with viruses, bacteria, Lyme disease. They've even come out with an amazing mental emotional support product that has been proven to help people who are super, super sensitive to supplements, with an MCAS type stuff, to help them be able to calm their nervous system down so that they can take the protocol and actually get healthier. So if you're really looking for a comprehensive protocol, Cellcore, there's nothing like it, hands down. For detoxing, daily support, or if you want to dive deeper into parasites, heavy metals, Lyme disease, these type of things, because Lyme typically never comes by itself. It usually has friends. And this is the first protocol that I've ever found that actually deals with each problem in the correct order, right? So the whole protocol is just absolutely life-changing. Highly, highly recommend it. Make sure to go to the show notes. I'll have a practitioner code so that you can put in your own order. You have to be a practitioner, or schedule a 15-minute call with me to dive a little deeper to see which part of the protocol that you'll need. They also have an amazing intake form that I use with all my clients, and then I'll have them use that intake form again in a couple months just to see how these products are moving the needle, right? Because if you're working with somebody and you're not getting better and it's been longer than 3, 4, 5 months, you need to find somebody else, or you need to ask them to pivot because something is not right. Really, you should start feeling results within 3 months. So yeah, make sure to go to the show notes to find out more about Cellcore. Absolutely love this protocol. Hey, welcome back. Let's dive into what are some of the things we can do to help your brain. One of the first things is mindset, meditation, mindfulness, nervous system resetting. Because if we're constantly in that fight or flight state, it's causing brain inflammation. When we have this brain inflammation, we have cognitive issues. And then this stuff over time can lead us to being more susceptible to dementia and Alzheimer's when we get older. So taking the time to calm down every day, get into coherence with your body, with your brain, with your heart. Sometimes it can be just as easy as placing your hand on your heart, closing your eyes, and focusing on things that you're grateful for. 2 minutes, it's all it takes, right? Put a timer on your phone and think about all the things. And I know sometimes when you're sick, it can be really, really hard to come up with those things. Go, go simple. I have clean water to drink. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my belly. I have clothes on my back, right? Plants, the birds singing outside, the sun is shining. I don't live in a war zone, right? Like sometimes you have to go that deep to find things that you're grateful for. And if you do that even a couple times a day, it's amazing what it'll do for your nervous system and getting your body back into sync. Another thing that you can do is trade out your aluminum products. So if you're using deodorant with aluminum in it, trade it out for a product that doesn't have aluminum. Get all aluminum cookware out of your kitchen. Stop using aluminum tinfoil to cook with. If you absolutely have to, like covering a baked potato, right? Cover the baked potato in parchment paper first, and then cover it in aluminum foil. Stop drinking out of aluminum cans. I ended up buying a soda stream, and then I found some syrups, that are like stevia based or monk fruit based. And I make my own bubbly drink at home. Because again, especially a lot of these high acidic carbonated beverages, leaching the aluminum and whatever else is in that can. No bueno for the brain. Let's see. Mercury. If you've got mercury fillings in your mouth, make sure you go to a biological dentist who takes it out properly. There is a proper way to remove mercury from your mouth. And if they're not using those specific methods, you're setting yourself up for big trouble down the road. We treat mercury as a biohazard before it goes into your mouth, and then we treat it as a biohazard after we take it out of our mouth. For some reason, when it's in our mouth, it's no longer a biohazard. No, that's bullshit. It actually is. And there's what is the name of that? There's a name of is it The Smoking Tooth? I think is the name of the documentary. Look that up. But I mean, so it shows like every time you brush it, anytime you go to the dentist and have those polished, your teeth polished and you've got mercury, anytime you drink warm beverages, how it's leaching into your system and accumulating into your brain. Mercury does not belong in our body. It's highly toxic, very inflammatory. Making sure that you're getting rid of other contributing factors, bacteria, viruses, Lyme, mold, detoxing what you have to, working through a protocol with a practitioner like myself, to systematically, because, you also got to kind of look at parasites when you're looking at this stuff. You got to look at candida, you got to look at heavy metals, so when it comes to detoxing the body, there's definitely stages and steps that you should do things to have the greatest benefit. But it's definitely something that needs to be looked at it as well. And then once you're really detoxed, like I try to periodically, like every 3 or 4 months, I do a parasite protocol, and then every couple months after that, I try to do a heavy metal protocol. And then daily, I'm taking binders from Cellcore. If you want to learn more about that or you want to put in an order, I have a special practitioner code because I think you have to be a practitioner to order from Cellcore. So just let me know if that's something that you want to look more into. But I absolutely love their parasite protocol, their candida protocol, their heavy metal protocol. All these toxins have become too big of a burden on our body and our brain. And it's showing, like I said, the fact that people think that it's just normal part of aging is to get Alzheimer's and dementia. That's bullshit. My husband's grandfather just died recently. He was part of the greatest generation ever, which is the generation before the baby boomers, without all the toxins. And that man was pretty damn with it. I think he was like 99, 98 years old. Plus we've got these blue zone folks, who people are living into their hundreds that are still very cognitively with it. Like we aren't meant to decline at this rate that we are these days. It's because of toxins, it's because of trauma, it's because of infections, it's because of food. So it can be done. Like I know it can seem overwhelming and small steps add up to big wins, so like I have a video that I made, a webinar on detoxing, and I tell you, pick, 1 or 2 things to do a month. And then by the time a year has gone by, you'll be amazed at how many things that you've changed in your household towards a better way, a healthier way of living. It took me about 2.5, 3 years to get everything dialed into where I like it, where I finally have the water filter that I want to have, the air filters that I want to have, the personal care products that I want to have, and the food. Sadly, I can't remember the last time I went on it was probably my honeymoon in 2020 was the last time I went on a vacation with my husband. Every spare dime I have is spent towards courses, health conferences, staying up to date on the latest techniques for folks and for organic food and non-toxic products. Because without your health, you have nothing. There is no better investment than investing in yourself. And I live that. And I'm hoping at some point that this business will take off a little bit more and that I will be able to afford a vacation or, some pretty new clothes, But for now, I'm grateful that I am able to eat the way that I want to eat for my health and wellness, because I have been without my health and wellness, and I know how hard and horrible life can be. I would much rather be on this side. And so it's funny, my ex-husband, I used to get so pissed off at him when I would watch him drink Pepsis and smoke cigarettes. And, here I am fighting for my life. And I felt like he was just kind of pissing on this beautiful blessing, this beautiful gift. And it's one thing if you're ignorant, right? And you didn't know that these things were not good for you. But at that time, living with me, he knew different. He knew better. And he still chose to pollute himself. And it just broke my heart. That's part of the reason why he's an ex-husband, is because I couldn't watch somebody self-destruct that way, right? Especially when I was fighting for my life, like my life depended on it, because it did, right? So don't look at Alzheimer's and dementia as a normal part of aging, please. It shows up 5, 10, 15 years before you'll actually get a diagnosis. So it's not too late to start putting in practice healthier lifestyle now. So that way, when you get older, your brain, your body will thank me. If you want to learn more about what I do and if this is a fit for you, go to my website, thelymeboss.com. That's Lyme, like in Lyme disease. We're not making margaritas. And schedule a 15-minute consultation. Like, that's pretty low key. Find out if what I do is a fit for you. There are some low cost entry ways of webinars and stuff that I've made that dives a little deeper into how to detox, what toxins to stay away from, how to do a sauna properly, even because so many people, especially with mold toxins, they don't sweat. And sweating is one of our biggest, bestest ways to detox. Ever since I got my sauna, I will never be without a sauna. So many health benefits, especially with brain inflammation, reducing brain inflammation. So don't think that you have to do this alone. Don't get overwhelmed. Contact someone like myself. Share this episode if you found something in it that has inspired you that you've never heard before, right? But again, just because it's common does not mean it's normal. And there are things that you can do today to help ensure a healthier tomorrow. Stay tuned. Have a healthy day. Make sure to share the love. Like, subscribe, and share. This information is potentially life-saving. Don't keep it to yourself. Make sure to help spread this message. And if you want to experience less pain, have a brain that works, and have more energy, it starts in the kitchen. Download my free 8-video cooking series, Real Cooking for Real Life. No more excuses. Take charge of your health. Start with the free video series at www.thelymeboss.com. That's Lyme. Thank you. Have a blessed day.